Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Kane's dangerous lie to Lily and his risky power move. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Kane keeps his cards close to the vest. Rather, he is similar to Billy Abbott. Earlier this year, Kane was reintroduced to viewers when the character of Aristotle Dumas invited the influential people of Genoa City, Wisconsin, to a villa in southern France. Nobody could have predicted that Flynn's first appearance on this long-running soap opera would serve as the impetus for what has grown into a comprehensive plot. The behavior of Flynn's character would have been difficult to imagine in Daniel Goddard's original edition. It's unclear if that's the reason for the casting. However, the intense focus on Flynn's current power-hungry persona has raised several urgent issues. Lily Winters provided an opportunity. Being with Kane has an impact on Lily Winters. When Khalil declares that she is no longer in love with him, she is being honest. However, she also doesn't want to provide a space for that to occur. Her reserved manner is far from romantic. Their twins have a genuine sense of betrayal that is unlikely to go away easily. As a result, Lily finds herself in a position that Kane claims to own. The audience also remembers that Lily was made an offer. Without going into detail, Kane promised her that if she made an effort to make amends with him, he would drop his GC plan. Coldly, she turned down that offer. Moving forward and taking over Jabot and Newman Enterprises, the giants are those two businesses. Kane wants them for reasons related to his late father's attempts to protect the wealth that has allowed him to consider such a bold business move. There is no reason to think that this cunning Kane would not suspect Michael Baldwin. How could the owner of Erupts, a company founded with money that has since been discovered to have been stolen, think that Michael has no connection to Victor Newman? Kane has disclosed an artificial intelligence program that reportedly enables him to seize control of Jabot, Newman Enterprises, and any other business he desires. Giving Lily a seized Winters Incorporated as a present is therefore within the bounds of reasonable daytime behavior. Billy Abbott is able to reverse the flow. Billy is a fascinating character in this play since he is a wild card. His current animosity toward Kane has the potential to destroy or at least impede the preparations for several takeovers. Billy and Kane may also be forced to back down when Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, returns to GC. When it comes to family, Jill takes no for an answer. Kane see her as a mother, and they care about her very much. There must be a certain winner from Kane and Victor's evolving discussions. Billy still believes that he will win, but he also has the ability to reverse the trend, act morally, and win back the faith of people who love him, including Kane. Holden's invitation, Jack's ace, and Michael's failure. Spoilers for the week of September 22nd, 2025 have been released for The Young and the Restless. Jack Abbott is expected to have a secret weapon. Claire Grace Newman receives an invitation from Holden Novak. In addition, Michael Baldwin is confronted by Lauren Baldwin. Let's discuss the upcoming events in the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Holden Novak's request. Let's begin with Holden, who reunites with Claire. The blonde is probably discussing her problems with Kyle Abbott. Holden replies, "How about a trip to Los Angeles if she wants distance?" The blonde will therefore need to consider that offer. Audra Charles discussed her complex relationship with Holden when he first made his debut. Holden enjoyed living dangerously and on the edge, according to the brunette. "It really scared me," Audra added. So what if Claire had a similar experience? Audra Charles and Sally Spectra's plot. In relation to Audra, she encounters Sally Spectra. The redhead will give her pal an update on Billy Abbott's most recent drama. Sally claims that Billy ruined Abbott Communications before it could launch in a preview clip. But it means Audra and Sally are both unemployed once more. They will therefore conspire together. Was Sally's evil side going to surface once more? The shocker of Tessa Porter. Tessa Porter and Daniel Jr. had a heart-to-heart, according to spoilers for the week of September 22nd on The Young and the Restless. Daniel shares with her the details of his encounter with Mariah Copeland. However, Tessa is unwilling to part with Mariah. Week of September 22nd, 2025. Additionally, fans can anticipate that Victoria Newman will challenge Kyle Abbott. Audra irritates Kyle later in the week. Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, has an alluring proposition from Victor Newman, Eric Braden. Diane, Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, and Jack attempt to reason with Billy in the meantime. Additionally, Jack's secret weapon is hinted at. Additionally, Kane will get back in touch with Tracy Abbott. However, Kane ends an alliance by Friday. In addition, Billy makes Sally make a tough choice. It sounds like Michael's secret is revealed when Lauren confronts him. Victor, meantime, gives a peace deal with Jack careful thought. Nikki Newman also gets some unexpected news. During the week of September 22nd, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. To find out what happens next, keep watching the soap opera on CBS or Paramount+. A closer look at Kane's perilous power move and perilous lie to Lily. Reimagining well-known characters to advance the plot has never been a problem for the young and the restless. And Kane Ashby's return to Genoa City is turning out to be one of the most audacious changes the soap opera has attempted in a long time. Longtime fans typically saw Daniel Goddard's portrayal of Kane as a tormented family man who was divided between his love for Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and his dubious choices. However, the Kane seen by viewers now is hardly recognizable. Kane has been recast by Flynn as a cunning, power-hungry strategist who actively uses deceit as a weapon in addition to twisting the truth. He is right in the middle of one of Genoa City's most explosive plotlines thanks to his most recent bold power move and a perilous deception to Lily. It was obvious that this would not be a quiet comeback from the minute Kane reappeared in the scene as Aristotle Dumas, enticing the GC power players to a villa in the south of France. Rather, the authors positioned Kane at the center of an international network of corporate scheming, a guy with wealth, secrets, and, perhaps most dangerously, ambition that is unbridled by morals. Kane is now planning events rather than just responding to them. The most obvious indication that he has entered the dangerous opportunist territory to yet is his readiness to deceive Lily by making false promises of reconciliation while concealing his actual goals. Lily Winters gave her a chance, but she didn't see the lie coming. Heartbreaks are nothing new to Lily Winters. One of the young and the restless main love stories, based on forgiveness, redemption arcs, and familial ties, was her marriage to Kane. However, Lily is portrayed in this new chapter as having become more realistic and not wanting to rekindle old wounds, even when she is faced with reminders of their past interactions. Lily bears as much of the weight of her twins' suffering as she does of her own, and their disenchantment with Kane is very palpable. Lily reacted coldly when Kane boldly offered to abandon his enigmatic corporate plan in exchange for a reconciliation. Rejecting him romantically was simply one aspect of it. Another was rejecting the offer's manipulation. But Lily isn't aware of it yet. Kane's offer was filled with false information. Whether he was planning a hostile takeover of Jabot or breaking into Newman Enterprises, he never really planned to abandon his quest for power. Lily is both a weapon and a vulnerability for Kane. Even though he deceives her, he still longs for her approval because he views her as the ultimate trophy, evidence that he can be both powerful and in love. This harmful untruth sows the seeds of unavoidable consequences. Lily's rage might be more icy and irreversible than ever when she finally realizes how deeply Kane has been lying. The desire to take over Jabot and Newman Enterprises. Newman Enterprises and Jabot Cosmetics have consistently loomed largest over Genoa City's corporate conflicts. Abbotts have battled valiantly for generations to protect, unite, or destroy these empires. Kane Ashby, a guy whose connections to status and wealth stem from his late father's dubious activities, enters this conflict. The irony is that Michael Baldwin has every reason to suspect that Kane's current wealth, which is largely linked to the dubious arabesque scheme, is the result of resource theft. Kane's plot's incorporation of artificial intelligence is a deft response to contemporary concerns about corporate espionage. Kane has an almost sci-fi advantage over his competitors thanks to his AI system, which can infiltrate and disrupt large corporations. With this weapon, he transforms from a cunning plotter to a real danger, making him maybe one of the most dangerous foes Genoa City has ever encountered. In typical soap opera fashion, he cloaks all of this ambition in lofty promises, even going so far as to say that he could gift Winters Incorporated to Lily as a token of affection. That idea's perverted romance highlights how far gone this Kane has devolved into. Billy Abbott, the unpredictable factor that could cause everything to fail. Without Jason Thompson's character Billy Abbott stirring things up, no Genoa City plot would be complete. Billy, who is equal parts smart and self-destructive, has always been the Abbott family's wild card. Now he is aiming directly at Kane. Their antagonism, which contrasts Kane's strategic control with Billy's erratic energy, gives this plot an exciting new dimension. Billy doesn't necessarily have a grand scheme as Kane does, but he does have a strong desire to cause trouble. Billy's unpredictable nature is what makes him such a dangerous opponent. Billy thrives in turmoil, but Kane might be able to predict Victor Newman's actions or outwit Michael Baldwin's legal strategies. He is both a liability and an asset because of his emotional instability. Kane's ambitious plans could be disrupted at any time if he undervalues Billy and writes him off as reckless or unstable. Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, is another complicating factor. Her return to Genoa City constantly changes the dynamics of her boys. Kane and Billy both genuinely care about her, and Jill is not amenable to power struggles that ruin families. Jill might be the one to expose Kane if she learns of his deceit, not for corporate wrongdoing, but rather for betraying the family loyalty that she cherishes most. Victor Newman and the alliance question. Without Victor Newman lurking in the background, of course, no corporate plot in Genoa City can proceed. Even though Victor's empire has survived numerous dangers, like as hostile takeovers and betrayals by family members, Kane's technological weapons might be unlike anything Victor has ever encountered. Victor is genuinely concerned, and maybe even reluctantly respectful, at the mere notion that Kane would utilize AI to destroy Newman Enterprises. Now, the question is whether Victor will see the opportunity to work with Kane or try to destroy him completely. According to soap opera logic, short-term partnerships can produce the most intense drama, but a Kane-Victor relationship would be tense and full of mistrust. The viewer is aware that such a collaboration can only result in one victor, pun intended, and that betrayal would inevitably burn slowly. The broader web and Jack Abbott's ace. In addition to the drama involving Kane and Lily, the week of September 22nd promises a wide range of people whose lives are impacted by this plot. It's intriguing that Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, has an ace up his sleeve, particularly if it entails thwarting Kane's business goals. Like Victor, Jack recognizes that power is about more than just money or technology. It's also about legacy, relationships, and knowing when to strike. Fans might witness a corporate chess battle that honors the historic Newman-Abbott Wars if Jack presents himself as the antidote to Kane's machinations. A subplot that might unexpectedly entwine with Kane's schemes is hinted at by Holden Novak's invitation to Claire Grace Newman. Kane's personal metamorphosis is reflected in Holden's reputation for risk and edge, which begs the issue of whether Kane and Holden will eventually work together or against each other in Genoa City's competitive underworld. The scheming of Sally and Audra, a mirror to Kane. The plots of Audra Charles and Sally Spectra provide a counterpoint to Kane's schemes. Sally and Audra are struggling to survive after Abbott Communications failed, while Kane is competing at the highest level of the company. Their choice to plot together brings back a little of the classic soap opera mischief. Two driven women on the periphery of power who are eager to establish themselves. The idea that deceit is currency in Genoa City and that only the brave survive is further supported by the fact that they are also using cunning, manipulation, and daring actions. The perilous path Kane and Lily face. In the end, the emotional breakup between Kane and Lily, rather than the business chess game, is what drives this plot. An imminent showdown that would put both characters to the test is set up by Kane's risky deception, in which he claims he could give up power for her love. Finding out that Kane's assurances were unfulfilled would feel to Lily like the ultimate betrayal of their marriage, as well as of all the opportunities she provided him to demonstrate his capacity for change. The consequences might be far worse for Kane. Lying to Lily puts him at risk of losing the one person who once gave him forgiveness. Without Lily, Kane might become even more of a villain as his journey toward ruthless ambition quickens. However, as all soap opera fans are aware, characters rarely follow a single route indefinitely. If the authors decide to eventually redeem Kane, the villain of today could turn into the tragic hero of tomorrow. In conclusion, the ideal storm. Everything that fans adore about the young and the restless is encapsulated in Kane's perilous power move and perilous lie to Lily. It's a tale of familial loyalty and vicious self-interest, ambition and demise, and love and treachery. The authors have created a plot that affects almost every area of Genoa City by presenting Kane as a romantic manipulator as well as a corporate menace. Every significant character has an interest in what happens next, whether it's Lily Winter's steely independence, Jack Abbott's secret ace, Victor Newman's iron will, or Billy Abbott's anarchy. The fact that this plot isn't solely about Kane is ultimately what makes it so captivating. It's about how one man's dangerous ambition spreads throughout Genoa City, making everyone answer, and reminding viewers that in the world of soap operas, every lie is finally exposed.